I hope my video is getting.
Yes, Proji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Proji, it is getting little bit stuck. Um,
I have to change this. So we have to begin with the ninth chapter today, and this will be the last chapter of my. oh,
Recording in progress.
So no, this will be my last chapter, which I will be taking, and it would be uh, and ahead from next week onwards. Shuddha Chitta Prabhu, Suraj Prabhu will take, and I'm very sure it will be much better. Much better. You will be able to take that. So, beginning with the ninth chapter today, let us get into it. So, till the point I try to share my screen. If anyone has any problem, any questions, he feel free to ask. I'll try to begin till that time. You can raise your hand and you can ask question too, if anybody has. So one of you can share the screen and already book if you have. It is really creating a problem for me to share.
yeah, just give me a minute, Proji. I'll open Folio.
Ninth chapter.
Yeah, just a minute.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Yes, yes, Proji. I'm sharing.
Okay.
Wait, let's conclude. Where is the screen sharing option? Oh, yes, I got it. Let me know, Proji, if it's visible.
Visible, bro.
Is it visible, Proji?
Yes, it's visible, bro.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, please read too.
Yes, Guruji. Lot. Akshay Tirutipurma. Aman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
One should not tolerate blasphemy of the Lord or his devotees. In this connection, in the 10th canto, 74th chapter, verse 40 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj, My dear king, if a person, after hearing blasphemous propaganda against the Lord and his devotees, does not go away from that place, he becomes bereft of the effect of all pious activities. In one of Lord Chaitanya's Shikshastaka verses, it is stated, the devotee should be more tolerant than the tree and more submissive than the grass. He should offer all honor to others but may not accept any honor for himself. In spite of Lord Chaitanya's being so humble and meek as a devotee, when he was informed about injuries inflicted on the body of Sri Nityananda, he immediately ran to the spot and wanted to kill the offenders Jagai and Madhai. This behavior of Lord Chaitanya is very significant. It shows that a Vaishnava may be very tolerant and meek, foregoing everything for his personal honor, but when it is a question of the honor of Krishna or his devotee, he will not tolerate any insult. There are three ways of dealings with such insults. If someone is heard blasphemy by words, one should be so expert that he can defeat the opposing party by argument. If he is unable to defeat the opposing party, then the next step is that he should not stand there meekly, but should give up his life. The third process is followed if he is unable to execute the above mentioned two processes, and that is that one must leave the place and go away. If a devotee does not follow any of the above mentioned three processes, he falls down from his position of devotion.
So this is about the first thing which has been said over here, that further one should consider these devotional principles very, very seriously. And surely this one is a very crucial one, because they leads to blaspheming of a devotee or hearing the blasphemy of a devotee. Amazing is, although we have heard about the categories of devotee, Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama, but when it comes to actually this part, committing offenses, it is also said that to according to the level of the Vaishnava and the degree of the offense that somebody has done, to that degree the effect would be of his offense on him. So the person who's offending, Prabhupada over here actually, is is also telling us that humility means what? Humility actually, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada is quoting this Lord Chaitanya dealing with Jagai and Madhai when they hit Nityananda Prabhu. He forsake all his humility in that way. Uh, Actually, humility is there is always a two things in the scriptures mentioned. One is the standard for one own self, and another is the standard for others. When our own self is being put into trouble, so surely we have to safeguard ourselves. But you know, but the humility is over there stressed a lot. But when it comes to saving other devotees, over there, violence is also fine. It's kind of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. Create a kind of a violence right now. And so humility, it doesn't goes against the principle of humility. For one's own sake, one should uh, one should try to surely protect oneself, but not, you know, not try kind of, other kind of a thing. Means insult and all. For if somebody is blaspheming us, no problem. Somebody is blaspheming other Vaishnava is a problem. That kind of a thing has to be always be taken in regard, and we should hear blasphemy. Sometimes devotees they ask what to do in that case if some other is blaspheming or somebody is speaking fault of others, criticizing others. That's very natural that happens in this world. The Prabhupada is giving you best is to leave that place, right? And leave it. And the problem happens if a non-devotee is blaspheming or criticizing. To leave the place is easy, but if a devotee is criticizing or blaspheming, you know, then it becomes more critical. To leave the place also feels that he will be hurted, although he is hurting others. So, there are ways. The ways is that you can change the topic of the subject matter which has been discussed, or you tell very clearly, I'm interested in talking to you, but not on this topic. Something else. You know, I differ in I differ from your view, what you have, and that is that has to be well respected. And even if the view is the same, no need of discussing it with with the people who actually can't affect anything. They're just talking. So actually, offenses against the devotee often is considered as offense against the name. Amazing is this. The name of the Lord is the Lord Himself. But the first offense against the name is the offense against the devotees only. Now, how the devotee came into picture, because you can't separate the Lord and His devotee. You know, you can't separate it. It's inseparable thing. So as you can't separate bhakti from a devotee, right? Same way nobody can separate the bhakta from the Lord. That's an inseparable thing. They go together. You can't separate the child from the you can't separate the mother from the child or the child from the mother. They are together. That's how it is. So now if somebody slaps the child, then he has to accept the slap of the mother probably. That's very natural, right? Or somebody uh, criticizes the mother, then he has to get the he will get uh, he will get he will get the anger from the side of the child. That's very natural to whatever degree he can. So this is very, but sometimes people do criticize out of ignorance. Uh, sometimes people criticize out of envy. One has to differentiate this. You know, this has to be differentiated, because when people are criticizing out of envy, sure it is the right thing to leave that place. But when somebody is criticizing out of ignorance or false knowledge that he has, then you defeat him nicely without touching his envy and without making without creating a issue of ego problem, and he will accept it. But if it is envy, then he will not accept it. It's better to leave that place. Specifically, if somebody is coming and criticizing the Lord, like I tell you in one place in Radha Gopinath temple, the Gopinath deities, which are the original deities of Madhu Pandit, the Prayojan deities of our Sampradaya, they are shifted to Jaipur. So if you see that deity, they wear a watch. They wear a watch on their wrist. Some of you might be knowing this pastime. So one man had come, Western man probably had come to to the temple many years before, many years before, probably 30 or something years like that. And he said, "Is that deity really has some, life in it?" So they said, "Are how you can say?" Then he said, "Okay, if he has a life, then I have a watch. Place that watch on the wrist of the deity, because that watch works according to the pulse. If there's a pulse is there in the man's, so the rate of pulse drives the energy for the moving of the watch. So it was placed, way back till now. Till now, every day, that watch, all the time the watch is on the hand of the Lord, on the wrist of the Lord, and it is working. It has not yet stopped. So, so surely, uh, that person was, would have accepted. We don't know, but at least it is, so it is an example where the people may not be telling things about the Lord out of envy, but why they don't have any knowledge about it. They are ignorant about it. So you give the knowledge. That's fine. But if somebody has an envy towards the Lord and is speaking, uh, then we have to better to go far away from it. It's better to go surely go, because second thing we can't say. One of the things also been said that you give up, but should give up his life. That is something looks to be very more difficult for us to give up one's life. But understand that is the gravity. That's the gravity of offending, of hearing blasphemy of devotees of the Lord. Right. So that it is better to die rather than to hear and sustain one's life. So it is, so that is why a devotee actually, we should consider it. We should consider it very serious matter when it has been said that to die, but which means life is of less use than, if somebody is he is of is of not much value if somebody is living a life on the cost of hearing blasphemy of Vaishnavas and or the Lord. I very well remember just giving you one of the I one devotee, two devotees were there in one of the company they had joined. They're freshers, they had joined the company. So they were in some corporate IT company. So they had a training period. In that training period, there was a trainer who was called, and that trainer was from outside. He was a hired trainer by the company. So one day that trainer, he came and we don't. The devotees were saying they didn't knew, but at a sudden he started speaking about Krishna, and not in a right way, in a wrong way. God knows why. So these two devotees were just thinking what to do. They eventually they thought about it that we can't just keep on hearing this what he's just saying. So they raised the hand and said that it's better if you teach for what you have come rather than telling about somebody's faith. Uh, I hope the company doesn't allow that to be spoken. And if you have such things, you can then we can have a discussion of the of the training periods. Then we can tell you everything. So no, then that person was taken aback, and he said, "Oh, ho, ho." He said that trainer said, "Oh, there are some lawyers for Krishna over here. Then better I be silent." So so they spoke very nicely. They spoke very nicely. So we have to know. Uh, uh, we can't go on just hearing that. It is very bad because problem with is this only one Prabhu. One is that when we go in our bad phase of our life of Krishna consciousness, these statements, which is there, which has gone inside, if one has heard it properly, it may create these statements which you have heard will create a big obstacles in keeping faith to Guru and Krishna. It may happen. So one has to be very careful about it. And it happens. When you have heard about a devotee, from no, you have heard about a devotee from some other devotee bad about him. So that time you didn't consider it so seriously, but you didn't took any action. The actions which are mentioned over here. But later on, what will happen? You may feel that "Nah, kya, kuch nahi hua, no problem." But later on, when you will have a problem with that devotee about whom you heard the problem, but whose criticism you heard, when you will have a difficulty in dealing with him, you will remember, हाँ उसने भी बोला था, and you will add all those things, and your perceptions will become much more strong, which may be wrong, you know. So it creates a big obstacle in you know, in the uh, in our bad phases of our Krishna conscious life. So one should never, do like that. I can tell you many devotees have shown such things that, like, one more time there was one fellow who, you know who was saying, about, actually I was only coming in bus, from Swargat to NVCC temple, PMT bus. So one man was started saying, वो कृष्ण के बगल में तो क्यों क्यों वो खड़ी हैं, कौन? राधा राधा जो बोलते हैं आप, क्यों खड़ी है? तो और किसको खड़े करे? मैंने पूछा, मैंने तो और किसको करे? आपको तो नहीं, मतलब मैं बोला नहीं। So, but I could, I tried to speak to him, but he was not taking it. इतना क्यों ज्वेलरी पहनाने का? Basically, he was showing envious side. I said, better you. But I said, I changed my seat. I don't want to talk to you. Because so it is. These are very. So it depends on. I told you 2 cases, 3 cases over here. And one who is envious and who is non-envious. We have to see it while he's speaking ill about the Lord, or showing some kind of a ignorant, is passing some ignorant statements towards the Lord or the devotee. One has to, like many people, when we go to, they speak about ISKCON here, there.
कैसे
Many
गए?
things the people is
कौन पुणे से
Hare
वो बोले
Krishna.
थे ना भाई
Hare
पानी
Krishna.
देंगे क्या बोल रहा है
Who is that? My dear Prabhu, who are you? Please mute.
20 मिनट में आने दो मजा आता है
You have a very bad impression, Haribol. क्या कर रहे हो? Who is there? Somebody else should mute him. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, so so one has to evaluate that, Prabhu, and do the needful. Like many people speak against ISKCON, very, 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 very normal, because they have heard something from here and there. Oh, we have to clarify that. Many times it happens. Once myself and one more devotee was going, and we just went to a Brahman, Brahman का वो कुछ तो पूजा थाली का शॉप था, मैं चलो इसको भगवत गीता दिखाते ले लो. Then he started speaking against ISKCON. I said, "Arey, they look to be a good man, but he is being." Then we have to give him answer, solid answer. You have to give. Else you go away from it. You don't. We should not take it these things cheaply. Hearing what is the problem. It surely no. None of us will like to hear anything bad about our parents or any of our relatives, for sure. You know. So, uh, so, uh, so actually, we have to evaluate that. How much relationship do I have? There's one question I'll take later. Please remind me. Read ahead to Tilak and Tulsi beads. Read.
Yes, Prabhu. I'll look. Anil Prabhu.
In the Padma Puran, there is a statement describing how a Vaishnava should declare his body with tilak and beads. Person who put tulsi beads on the neck, who mark 12 places of their bodies as Vishnu temples with Vishnu symbolic representation. The 4 items held in the 4 hands of Lord Vishnu, conch, mace, disc, and lotus, and who have Vishnu tilak on their forehead are to be understood as the devotee of Lord Vishnu in this world. Their presence make the world purified, and anywhere they remain, they make that place as good as Vaikuntha. A similar statement is in the Skanda Purana, which says, persons who are decorated with tilak or gopi chandan and who mark their bodies all over with the holy names of the Lord, and on whose neck and breast there are tulsi beads are never approached by the Yamdutas. The Yamdutas are the constable of King Yama, the Lord of Death, who punishes all sinful men. Vaishnavas are never called for by such constable of Yamraj. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the narration of Ajamala deliverance, it is said that Yamraj gave clear instruction to his assistant not to approach the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are beyond the jurisdiction of Yamraj activities.
Yeah, right. Vaishnavas are beyond the jurisdiction of Yamaraj. Yamaraj's jurisdiction. So, has been said, the verse is a very, very beautiful verse which talks about this. You know, so the verse is actually, it says about that uh, that ye kantha lagna tulsi nalinakshamala ye vahumula परिचिन्नित शंखचक्रः ये वा ललाट पलके लसद ऊर्ध्वपुण्ड्र ऊर्ध्वपुण्ड्र, that what we mark, स्ते वैष्णवा भुवनम असु पवित्रयन्ति. You know, such Vaishnavas like all of you who put tulsi beads around their neck, you know, and they also they decorate their forehead, with upward pointing lines of a sandal paste. These Vaishnavas, and they have a bodies which bear the symbols of like conch and vein and those foreheads. These Vaishnavas purify the whole world, and this is for said for means all for all sampradaya, right? Like or Hari Namakshara Yutam, Bhale Gopi Mridan Kitam Tulsi Maliko Araksham Sprasiyunera Yamodbhatah. It is said that like the Gopi Chandan, which is actually is yellowish earth, it is said. And if it is somebody is putting that, on his body with a Urdhva Pundra kind of a mark, actually he is untouched. He indicates, he's untouched by the servants of death. So one should not feel that he's awarded, love of Godhead. He's awarded liberation, right now. That's what is the meaning. Whenever these all things will be spoken over here, that he will be awarded this, doesn't have to take birth back again. Yeah, sure, because they will be awarded liberation. That's the meaning. Don't think that they have been awarded love of God. And I hope you are very clear with that. We as a Vaishnavas look for love of Godhead, not just liberation, right now. So, Skanda Puran, says that, also says about that, if somebody doesn't have the, a tulsi beads, tulsi, then people tree seeds also, the necklace is made and people wear it around their neck. So anyhow, we don't wear like that. So many, like you will go to Nath Dwara and all places, they'll give you a tulsi mala, not the tulsi neck bead. They give you tulsi mala. You will see that they wear, even Madhvas they wear. They don't wear this kanthi mala, but they wear a loose worn necklace. Or, actually, before to that, even you will see, Gaudiya Vaishnava was also wearing that, but now we don't wear like that. We just wear the kanthi mala tight around our neck. And even Ramanuja worships also, they wear Ramanuja people, Sri Sampradaya people, they wear this mala, tulsi mala at a time of worship while they are worshipping the Lord, not other times. Somehow it is like that. But they have Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, marked in their body at a time of initiation itself. At a time, they have a permanent mark kind of a thing. They make it. I don't know how they make it, but there was a devotee whom I saw. He had been with yeah, Loha Garam karke they come in, my Lord. It's quite good. We don't have that kind of process. So they say it like that. So it's been said, that one who marks one body with the letters of Krishna's name using sandalwood paste, purifies purify the world and attains Krishna's world also. So that's a That's what's been said. Now read ahead. So, Malav, when we are not even in the stage that we can put the tilak sandalwood paste, surely the one should where you can we should try that all the time. We have a sandalwood paste because it is written so way here very clearly. Gopi Chandan. The mantras are important surely when what you chant while you're putting the tilak. But no, the Gopi Chandan is also very important because the verse says about Gopi Chandan very clear. Like over here also the verse says, Krishna mama akshare gatram anka ye chandana adina. Keval chandan adina means does means chandan. Say lagane ka hota, using sandalwood. Not just a mantra. Okay, you don't have a pure sandalwood, no problem. At least some sandalwood has to be there. But if you can't put sandalwood, then put water tilak, and then you go. That is very important. Mm, We should not be without tilak is said. Read ahead too. Accepting flower garland. Somebody can read it.
Prabhu, this para is remaining, I think.
The
Remaining
Padma Purana,
folio.
the Padma
Uh-huh.
Purana also mentions a person whose body is decorated with the pulp of sandalwood, with painting of the holy name of the Lord, is delivered from all filthful reaction. And after his death, he goes directly to Krishna Loka to live in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Next, accepting flower garlands. The next instruction is that one should put on flower garland which are offered to the deities. In this connection, in the 11th canto, 6th chapter, 46th verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhava says to Krishna, My dear Krishna, I have taken things which you have used and enjoyed, such as garland of flowers, scented oils, garments, and ornament, and I eat only the remnants of your food stuff, because I am your menial servant. So therefore, I am sure that I shall not be attacked by the spell of material energy. The purport of this verse is that for any person who simply follows those rules and regulations of decorating the body with the marks of tilaks, of gopi chandan or sandalwood pulp, and who puts on the garland which are offered to Krishna, there is no question of being conquered by the spell of material energy. At the time of death, there is no question of such a person being called by the constables of Imran. Even if one does not accept all the Vaishnava principle but still takes the remnants of food stuff offered to Krishna or Krishna Prasad, he will gradually become qualified to rise to the platform of a Vaishnava. Similarly,
So
in the
beautiful.
Skanda Purana,
Okay, read similarly.
Lord Brahma tells Narada, My dear Narad, anyone who puts on his neck the flower garland which was formerly used by Krishna becomes relieved from all diseases and reactions to sinful activities, and gradually he is liberated from the contamination of matter.
Yeah, surely I'm very sure that the falashruti of these things that we have spoken may create doubt, because we see that even the flower garden is put, but people get disease. No, they don't become relief of disease. Sometimes people die with the flower garland because when they are dying, we put it. Yeah. So, so these things are there, Prabhu. No, it is not to undermine it. It has that potency for sure. But actually, as being a devotee, it is not looked for those things. And is that when it has been said that people are relieved from diseases, then yeah, they're relieved from diseases, for sure. But Krishna's will is higher will than these things. If he wishes the devotee that now it's time to go, he can go. There are good number of devotees, like you surely be knowing about His Holiness Jayaprakash Swami Maharaj. Now the people, no one astrologer Maharaj has gone. Maharaj, because his health is so bad, many people have taken him to many places. Many people, many devotees have shown his charts to many astrologers because they have affection for the Maharaj. So one of the astrologers said, "This person is alive. How is it alive? He is dead. According to his astrological chart, he should have died before only. Is he alive? How is it so?" He said, "He's alive, Baba. He's giving classes also. He's doing everything." Yeah, because then he said, "Oh, if he's alive, it is anyhow. It is beyond. These my astrology doesn't work so over here on these kind of people. He's beyond. It is up to his will now. When he will pass away." And Maharaj, actually, I heard that he has said, officially it is a recorded statement of Maharaj, that he's just waiting for POVP to be opened, and then after that depart. So that is an official statement of Maharaj. Somebody showed it on the WhatsApp channel, or probably a community channel of Maharaj. That is some devotee has quoted that Maharaj has spoken like that. So uh, these kind of devotees who had actually this much of faith. Still, when we see that things goes on bad in their life in terms of health or something, we should consider it is Krishna's interventions. It is not normal intervention. So it is not that it is wrong. It's not at all wrong. This falashruti which has been spoken over here, they're right, but depends. It depends on Krishna's intervention. What is his plan? And surely in our life, for people like us, it will depend on our Shraddha, how much we have Shraddha on that. And 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 a devotee never uses Krishna's grace for relief from material suffering. That also one has to remember. Not that I am having disease, so let me go to Krishna and uh, let me wear the warm garland. My disease will go away. The devotee never uses for these cheap things, and the remnants of the Lord or something. And second thing which I wanted to say over here is that when we accept these flower garlands, the ornaments or the food stuff, actually that is the sign of we being a menial servant and should be done in that mood. Not the flower garland is a sign of some kind of I'm great. Not like that. It is a sign of being a menial servant of the Lord. So when it is put around us, we should accept in that way. That's what I would say. As a mood of being a menial servant. And that's a that's the acknowledgement of being a menial servant. And Prabhupada says very beautiful over here. If one takes the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna, although he may not be following all Vaishnava's principles, maybe not following four Rex principle also, or something like that, he said you will gradually become qualified to rise to the platform of being a Vaishnava. So surely, these all things have a lot of potency. There's a lot of potency in these things because they are connected to Krishna. Wherever Krishna's touch comes, that things becomes spiritualized. Like we see even in the first canto Bhagavatam, when Krishna enters Dwaraka, over there it has been said that by the touch of the lips and the hand of the Lord, the conch shell has become reddish. So over there, Prabhupada writes a very beautiful purport about that. About touch of the Lord. Anything comes in the touch of the Lord, anything is touched by the Lord, means by His mercy. So that becomes spiritualized. So there's no material element in that. There's no material nature is there of that element now. This is spiritualized. It has that potency that it can award us. It can award us spiritual consciousness and can award us spiritual protection for sure. So one should not be. One should very gratefully accept these things if it is awarded to us, like a garland and all. We should not feel shame. Some people feel shame. And neither we should look for why I have not been garlanded. Neither we should feel shame in being offered a garland. Yeah, read through dancing before the deity.
I'll allot.
Santrapu allotted.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
fine.
allot. I'll allot. I'll allot. Yeah, just a minute. Aniruddha Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Uh, Prabhuji, for me, screen.
I should zoom. Okay.
If possible, Prabhuji.
Okay now.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Uh, in from the dancing, Prabhuji, dancing part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
In the Dwarka Mahimya,
Mahatmya.
Mahatmya, sorry, the importance of dancing before the deity is stated by the Lord Krishna as follows: a person who is in the jubilant spirit, who feels profound devotional service while dancing before me, and who manifests different features of bodily expressions, can burn away all the accumulated sinful reactions he has stocked up for many thousands of years. In the same book, there is a statement by Narada wherein he asserts from the body of any person who claps and dances before the deity, showing manifestations of ecstasy, all the all the birds of sinful activities fly away upward. Just as by clapping the hands one can cause many birds to fly away, similarly the birds of all sinful activities which are sitting on the body can be made to fly away simply by dancing and clapping before the deity of Krishna.
Yeah. So, the verse which has been quoted over here, the verse is very interesting. Somehow I'm not able to show to you, but you hear it. You know? It says, Yo nityati. Nityati, you understand? Nitya. Yo nityati परिस्तात्मा भवेर बहु शुभ आक्तितः स निर्दहति पापानि मनवंतर सतेषु अपि. Means what? One who is dancing cheerfully. Parishtatma, बहुत very happily is dancing, with great and sweet devotional sentiment. Now, what happens to him? Sa nirdahati. How much, papa, kitna nirdahati papani? And manvantara sateshavapi. Whatever he has accumulated sins in one manvantara. I hope you understand what is manvantara. Anybody can tell me how much is one manvantara?
71 cycles of
Divya Yugas.
Divya
Yeah,
Yugas.
yes, yes. So can you imagine it is said 71 into 43 lakh 20,000 years. So does one manvantara, does one, can mute him. Does one manvantara means 30 lakh? No, not 30 lakh. It is 3 crore. How much? 3 crore, something goes like that. 3 crore, 6, uh, it comes how much, Prabhu? It becomes more 3 million, Prabhu. 3 million, something like it goes. 72, 6 lakh 72,000 years. This much means 30 billion 672 million years. इतना इतने काल में जिसने भी जो भी पाप किया है, that has been said that nirdahati papani. How? But over here has been said very clearly. No one should dance cheerfully with great sweet devotional sentiment. Not that that the people who know Kathak and all those dance, they dance professionally. You know they don't may not dance devotionally. So one has to have a great devotion that I am dancing in front of the Lord. be happy about it. Like there was we go to some places where traditional places, old temples. Over there, people dance. You know, like I had just gone to Jaipur, so over there in front of Radha Govindji, local people. They are not Gauriya Vaishnavas. They are not people who have been trained in some society or organization. They said to they were saying, because we were standing and taking pictures, they said, थोड़ा साइड हो जाइए, हमें भगवान के लिए डांस करना है, नाचना है. It is so good that people have 5 o'clock in the morning, and you should know the temperature of Jaipur. Jaipur temperature means 8 degree, 7 degree in the morning. They're over there, and not one or two people, thousands of people. Dancing, singing, whatever they know, but they have, they are doing it with a, cheer, great enthusiasm. I know. So surely this is, when surely that maybe, they may be doing once in a year something, because that was like a 14th January, Makar Sankranti. We don't know. We don't have to evaluate that part. But surely if it is done with a great enthusiasm and cheer, simple process. Bhakti is very simple. It's very simple process. Like today, his Grace Radheshyam, to those who maybe have heard, his he gave Japa talk. He spoke a very good a particular part of Mahabharata where three things were said, that Pandavas were sent by Krishna, that you go out and see the world and report back to me. So one of the Pandavas, they came back and said, "Oh, Krishna, I saw, what? I saw, a cuckoo making very good sound, but that cuckoo was eating rabbit." So he was very amazed that how is it so. The second fellow said, the second Pandavas came and said, "Oh Krishna, I saw there were many wells, they were overflowing with the water, but amid those wells there was one big well which has become dried, and I was quite shocked at how is it so. Other wells are just overflowing with water. How is it so that mid of that there's one well which is drying up?" And the third amazing thing that one Pandava said, that I saw a stone boulder coming down from the mountain, and as it was coming down from the mountain, it was uprooting the trees and everything. But at one point it came, and there was one sapling. As soon as that boulder touched that sapling, that boulder, stopped and rolling down the mountain and got fragmented into different into particles. So then Krishna heard and said, "Yes, yeah, I'll explain you what does it mean." So then he started explaining. Krishna started explaining. He said the first one. The first one, what was said, that the cuckoo was making a sound, very sweet sound, but was eating rabbit. He was non-veg. He was eating. He was saying that similarly, there are many people who will be called as who will be called as religious propagators, but they will speak very sweetly, but not about Krishna. They will not speak about the Sambandha Gyan. They will not speak about those things. They'll just speak sweet, 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 which makes the people feel very good. But they will not speak about that you are servant of the Lord, you have to serve the Lord. Those things they will never speak. They will never speak that Krishna is a controller, he is a proprietor, he is the enjoyer. You are only meant to serve him. They will never speak like that. And second, he said about that those people, that the wells, there were many wells which were overflowing, but there was one well which was drying up in the mid of all those wells. It's like the people who have a lot of money, they have overflowing money, but they may spend on their luxury and comfort and all those things, or they may give charity to wrong people, but they will not give charity to for the right cause, for spreading Krishna consciousness or something like that. They will not, that well becomes dried, which is the most wanted well, because the people will spend in something else, but will not share what they have for the right cause to the right people. And a third is which I wanted to say out over here. Third analogy matches with our what we are discussing. That the boulder which was coming out and uprooting many trees, but as soon as it touched a sapling means a new germinated plant. The boulder stopped and got defragmented. That sapling is the holy name. And that boulder is considered to the effect of Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga, when it rolls down in the years, as the years passes in the Kali age, all religious principles, Shanti, Dhamma, all those, compassion, all those, just gets uprooted. But as soon as somebody, as soon as that effect, the Kali touches the holy name or the people in the people's heart, as soon as the holy name enters, just a sapling, all the effects of Kali are destroyed. But it's sapling. But sapling has that effect. Why? Bhakti, that's why the chanting is a simple process. The name of the Lord is very simple. But the effect is very high. Same way, Prabhu, we should know that when we are actually practicing devotional life, these simple things, clapping in kirtan, dancing in front of the Lord, or wearing garland of the Lord, putting tilak, all those things that with these simple processes can remove the effect of Kali from one's heart and should not be taken cheaply. If we take it cheaply, that's an offense. So, so it is said, Prabhupada actually says that as when we clap, you clap, then the bird who is sitting maybe on a window flies away. Same way as you clap in the kirtan, then what happens? All the Papa Pakshi, which is there on us, sitting on the shoulders on her body because of her past karma, they fly away. But remember, they fly away. They can come back if we become, dhila dala in that. So, yeah, read ahead. Bowing down in honor of the deity.
I'll allow Prabhuji. Ashish Prabhu.
Okay. Bowing down in the honor of the deity. In Naradiya Purana, there is a statement about bowing down and offering respect to the deity. It is said there, a person who has performed a great ritualistic sacrifice and a person who has simply offered his respectful obeisances by bowing down before the Lord cannot be held as equals. The person who has executed many great sacrifices will attain the result of his pious activities. But when such results are finished, he has to take birth again on the earthly planet. However, the person who has also once offered respects, bowing down before the deity, will not come back to this world because he will go directly to the abode of Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, read ahead from standing up to receive the Lord.
Standing up to receive the Lord. In the Brahmanda Puran, it is said, a person who sees the Lord's Rath Yatra car festival and then stands up to receive the Lord can purge all kinds of sinful results from his body.
Following the deity.
Following the duty. A similar statement is there in the Bhavishya Puran, in which it is stated, even if born of a lowly family, a person who follows the Rath Yatra car when the deities pass in front or from behind will surely be elevated to the position of achieving equal opulence with Vishnu. Shall I continue?
Yeah, yes.
Going to the temple of Vishnu or to places of pilgrimage. It is stated in the Puranas, persons who attempt to visit the holy places of pilgrimage like Vrindavan, Mathura or Dwarka are actually glorified. By such traveling activities, they can pass over the desert of material existence. In the Hari Bhakti Sudodai, there is a statement about the benefit of visiting the temples of Lord Krishna. As we have explained previously, in Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka, the system is that all the devotees take advantage of visiting various temples situated in those holy places. It is stated in the Hari Bhakti Shuddhodhya, persons who are impelled by pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness and who therefore go to see the deities of Vishnu in the temple will surely get relief from entering again into the prison house of a mother's womb. The conditioned soul forgets the trouble of living within the mother's womb during the birth, but it is a very painful and terrible experience. In order to make an escape from this material condition, one is advised to visit a temple of Vishnu with devotional consciousness. Then one can very easily get out of the miserable condition of material birth.
Yeah, yes. So we will, we'll not go ahead in this chapter today. There's something which I just want to say too about over here, what we said about the deities over here, basically. Going to the places, seeing the deity, chariot and getting up. Basically, it's about, maintaining a respectful attitude towards the Lord. Because anybody who's senior to us, if it's passing by, we should stand up. So it's been said over here that it's about a chariot. I have Janardhan, the Lord Janardhana, who's called as also called as the nourisher of the people. The Janardhan Shila is also there. I don't know how many of you know, but in our Saligam Shila that we have in a temple, there's also Janardhan Shila. What is the meaning of Janardhan? The nourisher of the people. So the has been said that people whenever Krishna arrives in front of us on a chariot or something like that, by standing up we show a gesture of respect, and so when a person is actually doing that, Lord also awards him nourishment. That's what he's because he's nourisher of the people. So generally the Lord does not move on a chariot. It's very rare it happens. But if somebody gets an opportunity, he should receive the Lord and actually show his respect by following the chariot and all those things being said. Also, there's a one shloka which says samsara, samsara manukantra nistara karanam shamo slagyota eva charano yo hares tirthagamino. So it is said that when people, the two praiseworthy feet that walks to the Hari pilgrimage are the cause of crossing the desert of samsara. So, surely, one should have an interest in going to these kind of places where the Lord has performed his pastimes, and his devotees have stayed and performed bhajan for the Lord. They have shown, they have performed their devotional service over there. That is a place of tirtha, and one must have an eagerness to go, but which should go with the mentality of serving, not a mentality of just going for a picnic kind of a thing, or not leaving the service over here and where it is and going. So these all are basically is said about that uh, one should maintain great respect for the Lord just by even bowing down in front of the Lord. There's a verse which says, "Na, if the head which does not bows down in front of the Lord, that head is compared to anybody knows a crown on the head of a drowning man. He's already drowning, and he put a crown over his head, gold crown. It will become more, he will more drown. So if a person, say, if a head is there, but he's not bows down in front of the Lord, that head which does not bow down in front of the Lord, it's just a useless weight over the body. Sure enough to drown us more into this material pool. And the head means intelligence, also. If the intelligence which does not bows down in front of the Lord that intelligence just makes us submerged into the ocean of material pool. Nothing more than that. So that's what has been shown over here in all these what has been said. Uh, so one should be very careful about that and show proper respect to the Lord. 6-7 minutes are remaining. I'll take one question which was just sent to me, and if you have some questions, you can surely ask by that. After that, there is a Himanshu Prabhu who is saying few devotees say it is okay with management done for other devotees' welfare. Is regarding offending, right now? Himanshu Prabhu, if you can,
Yes, Roji.
sorry, yeah, if you can tell more about your question.
Sometimes during some devotees done something, and some senior devotee is asking about the situation, and he's asking about the devotee. So I used to say that is it okay to discuss about some fault things which he has done. He used to say that
Yes.
it is okay.
Because, it is okay. Should be done with the attitude of reforming that devotee, not with the attitude of uh, envying that devotee or taking interest in his fault. Not enjoying his fault. Dekho, kaisa hai. Not like that. But in management, even if it has been talked, it has been talked in a way that how we can, so that the thing may not be repeated or that devotee can be helped in some way. And if somebody's attitude is wrong and that has been talked, then for the betterment of the service, may not be has to be given to him. But we should not. The wrong is when if we stamp that devotee, ye to aisa hi aisa lagta hai. No, he may be right now like that, but he may change. That is, but if it is done with the mood of enjoying his fault, or when it is talked in a group which has nothing to do and take care with the service which that devotee is rendering, or thing like that, it is bad. I hope it makes some sense to you, bro.
Yes, Roji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roji.
Yeah, Mandar too.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So I have a doubt in when we say about Vaishnava Aparadh. So you have told one pastime of Rup Goswami. He has that vision of Lord, and he was seeing that some pastime, and one of the Vaishnava, he just passed from there, and he laughed. Means Rup Goswami just laughed by seeing that pastime. He not laughed at that Vaishnava, but that Vaishnava took it in a bad way. He thought that Rup Goswami is laughing at me, and that's how that offense came to Rup Goswami. Now here means it was the scenario itself was totally different. Dhruv Goswami was never in the offending mentality. So now the problem is, so what exactly we can say an offense? Means I am offended. Where sometimes we have to give correction if we are on the managerial level or we are guiding someone. Sometimes we have to give correction. Now problem is in giving correction, we don't want that person to feel offended. At the same time, he will correct the mistake. But now how the person takes, it depends on that person also. And now, if I take that example, that was extreme example just to show us that we should not commit offense even on that level, or it was like it will happen. It is an offense even when we are human.
Okay, Madam. Rup Goswami's case is an exceptional case to show that the effect of aparadh can affect even such a Vaishnava. Who's a Nitya Siddha. In his meditation to Krishna's pastime can get affected if he does aparadh unknowingly. If somebody else, just to show that how grave can be a Vaishnava offense. I don't see that if we don't have an attitude of offending any Vaishnava. Yeah, but if we come to know that somebody has taken it in a bad way, we should say sorry to him. Uh, but uh, but the offense aparad is considered only when we have that if our actions or intentions you know are meant to meant are driven by some negative attitude towards that devotee, then surely it is aparad, then it goes in aparad zone. Whereas in terms of if we are the right person, actually so sorry, actually, I sorry, my phone got switched off, which I was saying. So I'm using Aman to turn it up. So yeah, the attitude should be very proper too. That's what I said, and not much more than that is over here. Those kind of pastimes are very exclusively exceptional pastimes, just to teach us extremes. It will be extremes in the sense that if you do it, how great is it? Somebody takes it also that. So yeah, generally I have seen many senior devotees actually when they even chastise a devotee, after that they sort of say sorry, if you felt bad, you know, but this is the thing, which is has to be rectified. If they see that if so there's an art which one has to learn also, that how to rectify a devotee without making him feel hurted. And you will see that great people when they commit such kind of when the great people actually when they actually rectify some Vaishnavas, they rectify it in such a way that they the Vaishnava also that whom is rectified he feels very good. I have seen it publicly happening. Sometimes if you take it, some of the questions which has been asked that we hear in from the Radhanath Maharaj classes, those questions and the answers which are very heavy. If you hear it very carefully, it goes very heavy. But but it is spoken with such a loving heart for that Vaishnava that nobody feels anything. That neither that Vaishnava nor the other feels very heaviness. They understand the subject matter. So that requires a certain kind of advancement. But theoretically, we are also not so much here. I would say we don't have love that much for devotee. Then actually we should not have a negative attitude at least. Is it fine?
Yes, Prabhuji, and extending the same question. So, if suppose somebody commits crime or somebody speaks badly because of his own nature, maybe because something else happened in his life, and he's just venting it out, that will considered as offense, right?
Yeah, about that also has been said. Yeah, depends on if he's malais, if his heart has a malais somewhere. देखो कुछ लोग को गुस्सा गुस्सा होने का आदत होता है, गुस्सा हो गया उसको थोड़ा बहुत मिलेगा maybe. I would say if his heart is fine, he won't get, because there's one thing which comes is written at one place that a devotee who may be bit strong in his speaking, you know, you know, he may speak it because his nature is strong, but his heart is pure. Actually, that devotee is not. That devotee should, maybe others who are neophyte will take him in a wrong way, but others won't. But see, mature people will not take him in a wrong way. So, but but it is very natural. But it is expected that once we become a devotee, we also learn the culture of of culture of Vaishnavism.
So one has to tame down that kind of habit that he may have. But it's not considered to be of India. But if he's not able to do that, and he sometimes like a junior may get angry on a senior itself because of his nature. That goes on. That thing goes on. That will go on. So one has to be careful about that part also. I don't know whether it makes sense to you.
Yes, Raj, it's clear. Thank you.
One thing about is thought.
So your voice is not coming.
I'm not audible.
And now audible, bro.
So our time has already passed. So what is those name? I don't initiate it. So what to do? Okay, bro. Last question. Whose question was this?
Really, your voice is breaking.
I'm saying if anybody has questions, he can ask as we end over here.
Now we can ask or tomorrow, bro.
Tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Correct.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Guruji.